Hey everyone, it's Nadia from LiaDia Designs and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of an experiment. We have one of my acrylic designs. So this is the Magical Rose Arch and it has my new acrylic backer. So it's a clear backer. I want to test this with resin to see how well it works. Obviously, if we have any issues with leaking or anything like that. So that's one of the first things we're going to be testing. What we're also going to be testing is some new resin today. So I got resin from Resiners. So this is their 2-part epoxy. They're one to one. And we're testing one more thing, and it is a double efficiency resin mixer. Again, from Resiners. And look at the top of that box. It's awesome. So again, we have our Magical Rose Arch here. And as you can see, the acrylic backer has already been attached. That's an option if when you're purchasing, you don't have to have it attached. If you don't, you'll get 2 separate pieces like this. The black acrylic, which is the detailed portion of the dragonfly, will have industrial strength double-sided tape on the back that's been cut perfectly to the shape. So the first thing we want to do is what I'm calling reactivating, and I'm air quotes, reactivating the double-sided tape, because with shipping it may become a little bit loose. So the way I suggest doing that is by pressing all of the detailed edges. Now, something I have noticed that works really well is if you do take off the paper off the clear backer, you can actually see how well it's attached. And if you see any kind of white areas, you can just push those areas together. I'm going to put another video here because I've already done this, but I'll show a little clip of a video here of me doing that so that you can see I'm just pushing it and the little white areas are disappearing because the tape is reattached. So a little tip there on how to quickly do that. I'm leaving the paper that's on the front in place because when I'm adding resin, it's going to probably get a little messy because I'm not the neatest at adding the resin into the pieces here, but it will protect the black acrylic. So once we're done, we can just peel that off and it should be good. I have set up our mixing machine, so I'm going to go over there and get our resin mixed up and I will be back. Okay, so I'm on handheld here, so I want to show you. So it's almost done mixing here, so I'm just going to turn it off. And there's a really cool feature here. I know it's probably not like the main feature, but I just found it to be really cool. There's a button on the back. So now you can just lift this up and you just let it drain. So see, you can just let the paddle drip. And then once it's done dripping, then you can move your resin cup out. And it has a little silicone mat here. So once you remove the cup, if there's any drips that end up on the mat, you can just peel those off. Before we go ahead and mix the colors in, I just want to show how bubble-free this resin is. It was just mixing for 3 minutes and I don't really see any bubbles. I mean, I see maybe like a little few tiny ones there, but really that is super clear. So as you saw, I didn't actually mix a lot of resin. I only mixed about 4 ounces because I don't think we need a lot to fill this, and 4 might be too much, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough. So I'm going to use this one here. So it's a Let's Resins resin dye. And I'm just going to add a couple drops of that and a little bit of purple. And then I just wanted to add a little bit of sparkles. So we're just going to add a little bit of glitter in there just to help it sparkle a little bit. It is supposed to be magical, so we will do that. And then we'll mix. We might have to add a bit more to get the color we want or the opacity we want. This is going to be, a window, ornament or a sun catcher. So we do want it to still have transparency. So we don't want to add too much glitter. The resin dye is not really going to be adding opaqueness, but we can definitely make it, a little bit more of a bold color by adding a bit more. So where did my purple go? This one. So That's what we're going to do here, and I'll get the other ones mixed up too. So I'm going to be doing the same thing. So we have a little bit of glitter in our red, as you can see here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the green and the blue, which I'm going to be using for the background. And around the edges, we're going to be doing gold. So let me get all those colors mixed up and I'll be back. Okay, so I have all of my colors ready here. So I have those, and there's the gold as well. I want to put them in these little applicator bottles. I haven't done this before, but I think it might actually be a good way to get the color in here. Normally I would use a paintbrush, but a lot of people have told me to use the little applicator bottles. I know there's the ones with like the little metal tips too. These are the ones I had on hand, so we're just going to try these. And I actually cut each of the tips of these. I don't know if you can see it, but they cut them all a little different. So this one's like very large, very small, and kind of medium. So then I can see if there's a difference there. This resin isn't very thick, so I think we're going to be okay here with it. We're just going to pour it in. Yeah, I think we're going to go large actually for the rose. So let's do that. So let's start. This is the first time I'm using these bottles, so just wish me luck. So we can just go ahead here and hopefully be able to just fill in this way. We might have to go back in with a paintbrush to just make sure all the corners are getting filled. But especially like these little tight areas, probably gonna need the little paintbrush for that. But oh my gosh, this actually makes it a lot easier than just the paintbrush alone. And I'm sure many of you guys already know this, but it's a little new to me. I'm so used to doing everything with a paintbrush, so this is definitely a lot easier. What I want to do for the background is I want to do the blue. So we're gonna start up here, and I know I probably don't have enough of the blue, but that was intentional. I want to do a bit of a gradient as we start going down. So we'll start off with this pretty blue, and I didn't put any glitter in this blue because I want to really see how clear and bubble free this resin is. I have only used about 2 ounces of the resin that I made, and the rest of it that was in the cup was starting to overheat, so or starting to cure, so I did move that into some other molds because I don't think I'm going to be needing it. In any case, the gold is getting a little thicker, but it's not overheating. It's just starting to get a little thick. So I have to press a little bit more for this one to get it out of the bottle, because I did make the tip on this one a little small since we have a lot of these areas to fill with the corners and things. Okay, so we're all done, but so I think the last thing I want to do before I just leave this to cure is I just want to do a little bit of cleanup to just any of the areas that seem like they might be overflowing over the top of the paper. I just want to clean those up and just kind of wipe them out. So this way, I don't know if you guys saw my UV resin video with the silhouettes. Was when I made the little succulent cacti guys, and whenever the resin kind of layered over the paper, that area was pretty much stuck once the UV resin had cured. So I learned from that that maybe we should make sure that's not happening. It might not be as big of a deal here, but I'm just going to wipe out any of the excess resin that's on the paper just to kind of hopefully make that process a little easier. All right, so it's been about 10 hours overnight for this to cure. So it is cured now. And you can see here I have all these little hearts. So these are what I made with the extra resin that I didn't need. So really this piece took, I would say, about 2 ounces of resin to fill. So it might be slightly more than that, but that was pretty much what it was. And then these are all the things I got out of the extra. So if you're planning to do this, you probably could start with 2 ounces and most likely would be fine. And you can see I filled it pretty full, like not 100%, because again, I didn't want to go over the lines, but pretty full. All right, so now we need to get the paper off. I had started it a little bit just to kind of make sure it wasn't going to be completely stuck, but I think we'll be okay. So I'm using the X-Acto knife just because I find it a little bit easier. So here is the final look, and it just, honestly, I'm so in love with this. Oh my goodness. I love, obviously you guys know, I love the stained glass look, and this just worked out so beautifully. I did notice when I was pulling up the protective paper on here that there was a couple spots where the resin kind of leaked under a little bit, if there was like, if the paper had raised up a bit, but it was actually really easy for me to scrape that off or just kind of pick it off. I don't know if it's because the resin was still not 100% cured yet, like it hadn't really hardened. I was able to kind of peel it off, but that's just an added bonus for sure that you can easily kind of clean that up. So that was one thing. Also, I love the fact that we have the clear backer on the back. It just made it so much easier to just get started right away with the piece, not having to worry about setting the acrylic design in resin. Though, of course, if you have a project that you want to do that with, you can definitely do it. But if you're just looking for something that you can quickly paint or resin, and then when you're done, it's already got the little hanging loop so that you can hang it up. And obviously the acrylic, the clear acrylic is cut to the same size as the design. So all those reasons make it really a great option for those looking for that. Anyways, we definitely need to get this in front of a window so that we can see how it looks with the light behind it. I mean, here it already looks amazing. I can only imagine what it's going to look like in front of a window. But before we do that, I just want to quickly say thank you to Resiners for sending over their dual head resin mixing machine. It was awesome. I'm going to be using it all the time for sure. And their resin as well, which looks like it cured beautifully. Again, this was only 10 hours and it's already cured. And this is a pretty thin layer of resin. So it looks like it worked out really well. And for those of you who are interested in trying any of these products, the links are going to be below in the description. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this project. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I do hear people telling me that they don't get notified when I'm posting videos or making announcements or even doing live streams. So definitely click that notification bell, because I believe that's your best chance of being notified of any of my new content here on YouTube. So, and if you would like to become a member, I do have membership with both YouTube and Patreon. Members get special discounts on these acrylic silhouettes, as well as we do member live streams where they get to get sneak peeks on my latest designs, things I'm working on, things I'm thinking about working on, so you can have your input there as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave comments in below. It is looking like YouTube is changing more towards engagement, so they do want us to have more comments now. So if you can, even to say that you like it, or if you have, again, ideas for other designs you'd like to see, please put them in the comments. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.